And welcome everybody to the Jim Masters Show live entertainment lifestyle talk show series. How's everybody doing today? It's good to see all your smiley faces. I hope you're in the mood for some great entertainment, conversation, and lots more, because that's what we're going to do right now for all of you, as we always do on our entertainment lifestyle talk show series that we call the Jim Masters Show Live. And guess what? I'm Jim Masters. I'm your host. I'm here to entertain you and educate, inform, inspire, and all the rest that we do here on our series, bringing back the lost art of conversation, old school style. And we love having all of you here. Thanks to everybody who's been watching and sharing all the links on your Instagram and Twitter and Facebook pages. We love that. We love when you share. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, where we house over 600 episodes of our entertainment lifestyle talk show series, the Jim Masters Show Live, well, definitely subscribe to the channel. That's the channel you're watching right now, Jim Masters TV, home to the Jim Masters Show Live. And while you're there, also give this episode and all the episodes you enjoy a hearty like. That's right. Give it a like, give it a thumbs up. We would love that. Hope you're having a good day today. Again, you can binge watch all these episodes on our show series and our YouTube channel, which is Jim Masters TV. Guests from all walks of life come through here, and we absolutely love it. Good friend joining us here, live and direct from Palm Springs, California, Mel England, stage, film, and television actor extraordinaire. Going to chat with him in just a second. We welcome all of the viewers who are chatting right now live. We love that. We see a bevy of comments already built up here. Now, if you would like to chat live in chat while the show is live, you can do that in our chat section. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can chat, and then stay a subscriber. Don't just subscribe so you can chat. Stay with us, because we have so many incredible shows and episodes and a lot of fun here on our entertainment lifestyle talk show series. So subscribe if you would like to chat. And of course, we welcome you to stay with us. Click that notification bell so you never miss any of the episodes as well. We also have super chat, super emoji, super stickers, a whole host of cool things in chat that you can do, which actually helps support our series and all the work and expense and all the time and toil that goes into creating these epic episodes here. So we thank you very much for those of you who've been doing that as well. So again, if you want to chat during the show, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Also, you can chat or comment, that is, later on or during the show on our actual YouTube channel as well. So if you don't get a chance to do it in chat, we would absolutely really love it if you could do it on the YouTube channel, because YouTube loves to see that, and they'll take this episode and blast it out even further. Good to see everybody. Good to see Mel here as well from Palm Springs. Let me tell you a little bit about him. He starred on screen and stage, off-Broadway, internationally, and across the United States since his debut at age 10 as Cyrano de Bergerac, directed by British actor and director Anthony Rogers at the Dallas Theatre Center. He's currently on the ride of his life, playing Brad in the play Electricity for audiences around the country, from Los Angeles, Palm Springs, to Minneapolis, of course, when you're able to do that, where he won Best Actor in a Tour from Lavender Magazine and is slated for Off-Broadway in 2022. On film, he also starred in the title role, and I got a chance to actually see this at one of the cinemas. We actually got a chance to see a preview. It was like one of those preview parties where you get the chance to see the actual film, and then there's an after party with Neil Rubenstein and Lily and Mel and the cast from Ron and Laura Take Back America, for which he won a Best Acting Ensemble Award and 2 Best Actor nominations as well. The film, which he co-wrote and co-directed with co-star Janice Markham, earned 13 other wins and nominations, including Best Comedy, Best Director, co-starred Golden Globe Best Actress nominee Irene Bedard. Matter of fact, we were just talking about her because she's in Cosmic Radio, and we just had the stars and crew from Cosmic Radio on just the other day about that film. And of course, Jim J. Bullock as well in it. This can be seen on Amazon Prime too. He stars in the feature Best Day Ever, and that's on Amazon. He also appears alongside Academy Award Best Actress nominee and Golden Globe winner Sally Kirkland in Archaeology of a Woman. Yes, and he recently signed to star with Kirkland in the upcoming feature film Love Anonymous, too. Other roles have included incredible roles. I'm going to show you some of these photos in just a second. I don't want to give it all away in the beginning because we're going to talk about this, but Persona au Gratin is one of them. co-starring alongside horror film star Sid Haig and in the indie hit Little Big Top. Yes, he's been on television. He's done a whole host of different things. We've got some really cool clips we're going to be showing you as well. But first, why don't you join me in welcoming our friend Mel England to the show? Again, keep the comments coming, folks. We're going to take a look at those as we go along here on the broadcast. Let's welcome Mel to the Jim Masters Show live from Palm Springs, California. Hey, Mel, how are you?
Hey, Jim. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you again as well, my friend. It's been a bit when we were in New York City and we were at the cinema with our friends there. Yep, I dug this up, Neil and Suvacaro, and yes, and that was a really fantastic night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great night, and I'm like still stunned that your hair is like I was. I
so
love
long
your
now
hair.
and style.
Yeah,
Everybody says they like the hair like this. I know it was definitely shorter there.
Yeah. It's just a totally different vibe. It's so cool. Oh, there's that's so cool. There we were at Cinema Village.
Yes, that was exactly.
You know what's so wild about that, and I'm so happy you have that shot. I actually, when I first got to New York in like 1987. Oh my God, I just dated myself.
Wow, 1987. Anyway, you were in a bassinet, right?
Something like that, to go to NYU. But literally, my dorm was on that same block. Like if you go around the corner on Fifth Avenue, it's like literally right there. There's a NYU dorm, Rubin Hall. And so it was just really cool to have the movie right there because I've been to Cinema Village since I was a baby, literally.
Really? So yeah, you're very familiar with it. And of course, there is Ron and Laura Take Back America. And that was sort of that preview evening. We got a chance to check it out with friends. And there it is on the marquee. And there we are with our friends. And it was really, really cool. And that for you was really, really important, that particular project, wasn't it? I mean, you had such an involvement in it.
I had worked as an actor. I'd done, a few feature films at that point, but I had never directed, certainly. And I also hadn't, written a feature. I mean, I had written plays, but I had never written like a feature film. So Janice and I decided to start making this movie. At the time, it was about the Tea Party, a Tea Party couple that decided to take their country back.
Right.
And we sort of know that story now. I mean, it's so wild. It all kind of came true in the wildest way. But so we were going to make a short film. And then as soon as we started shooting, we were like, oh my God, maybe this is actually a feature. So we made it into a feature, and it's a mockumentary. And these people are trying to take their country back from the illegals and the gays and, all that crazy stuff. And it's a comedy. It's a comedy, but it is a very dark comedy. And then when it came out in 2016, and I think we had this premiere earlier in the year, but when it finally hit the shelves, it was right after the election. 2016. And so it was really wild. We had actually Janice and I co-wrote it, co-directed it, and co-starred in it. And that was something I never thought I'd ever do. And I learned so much. And at the same time, Janice and I are basically, we always say we're a screen couple now. We'll always be married. And I love her so much. But we had an interview the day after the election.
Did you really?
We were like, what do we say? It was such a weird thing because the comedy of the film was based on the idea that this couple was, sort of, I don't know. Well, they were trying to do what they thought was best, but they would hire illegal aliens, but they would be against them, or they had a gay son. And there was all this ironic hypocrisy in the film. And so we just thought it was sort of, funny, and it became dark. It just became a dark comedy. And I'm actually really proud of it because I think that it was oddly very prescient with what happened in the country.
Exactly right. Yeah. And very well received too, right? I mean, it's won all kinds of awards and wow.
And that was also kind of a shock because when a film hits the film, I mean, a very dear friend of mine, Craig Chester, who is sort of a independent film icon, he was sort of giving me pointers and stuff. And I remember he had a film that came out that was a comedy, Adam and Steve, and I was like, this film is amazing. You should. And he said to me, this is not the kind of film that wins awards. And so I thought our film was in that category because it was a comedy, it's a mockumentary. At a lot of the festivals you go to, people are very serious. And I just thought, whatever. So I wasn't really, and then for us to get so many awards and nominations, it just was literally a really kind of a wild thrill because we didn't expect it.
I know. Very. And congratulations on that. Again, I knew when I saw the preview, there was a packed house. Everybody was super excited. And then the after party, there was a great night, but it was very well done. And, scripting, acting, shooting, all of it was really well done. And I said, this is going to be, well received. So congratulations on that. How did let's go back even way before that. Growing up, what were some of the inspirations for you, Mel? And how did you end up with a great name like England?
People think it's often a stage name, but
Sure,
it's
Mel England. They think Jim Masters is too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I get it, Jim. It's this is just my birth name. Actually, and I don't talk about it a lot, but it has been said before. But Mel is actually short for mellow moonshine. My parents were hippies, and so my birth mother evidently wrote that down on the birth certificate, but then the nurse decided that was just like not going to happen. And so they just wrote Mel, and that was the name that stuck legally. And then when I got baptized, it was Mellow Moonshine. So anyway, so growing up, I was called affectionately Mellow or Moonshine.
Mellow, yes. Yeah. Never Melvin.
No. And often people will even call me Melvin. And, it doesn't make me up. I'm just like, you don't even know.
There'll be a film on that soon too, folks. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
So what were the early inspirations for you growing up that inspired you to want to go into acting and performance?
Well, oddly enough, so my birth mother was not able to raise me. She kind of went off, and then my dad married the babysitter, and I was adopted by, I was very lucky that she raised me, and my birth mother came back later, and there was all sorts of stuff that happened. But
was this West Coast or East?
In Dallas, Texas, actually.
Oh, in Dallas. Yeah,
there were hippies in Dallas, Texas.
I was going to say, it sounded like more East or West, right?
Well, you remember there's a line, I think it's Dallas, Texas, Hollywood, Dallas, Texas, Hollywood. Right. So Dallas was a rock and roll town. Mm-hmm. So they were living the life. And anyway, so my adopted mother came in when I was about a year old and took care of me and married my dad. And she had worked in the costume shop at the Dallas Theater Center when I was before I was even born, when she was 16. And so she knew that they had child acting classes, and I was like this demonstrative little kid or something, and she enrolled me, and I just took to it like water. I just loved it from day one, and I was very lucky. I was, I always say there's the director of that program, Cynthia Rogers, had put me on a scholarship. My parents wouldn't have been able to afford it, actually. So I was very blessed from the very early age that I had people supporting me, and So
that's cool. That's fantastic. Yeah. So what would be like an early, door opening opportunity for you that really set things in motion for your career and your aspirations, Mel?
Well, you mentioned it, actually. You were talking about the very first professional play I did at the Dallas Theater Center by the time I think I was in the one grade. Huh? Yeah, Cyrano de Bergerac. I did not play Cyrano. But
10 years old?
Yeah, I was I was just a boy in the crowd, and they had a little scene. And actually, the most fun part, because it's one of those really old plays, and there's these big crowd scenes, and there was an actor that was sort of like the fool everybody made fun of, and they all had wigs, and so we
Yes.
were the kids up in the balcony, and we literally lowered a hook down, and then we lifted up his wig. It was so funny. So that was like my big break. But Anton Rogers was the director, and he was very famous at the time because there was, I don't know if you're probably not old enough to remember this, but it was in the 70s, and there was a show on PBS called Lily. It was a big,
Sure.
like the Lily Langtry, and it was like one of those,
Yes.
it was the current like Downton Abbey of the day, but this is back when they didn't shoot it on film. They would shoot them in little TV studios, and so he was the husband who goes mad of Lily Langtry, and so he's just kind of this amazing actor. And anyway, I was starstruck, and that started me off. And then I, kind of there was a performing arts high school in Dallas that I was lucky enough to get into, and so I've been going at it, and then I went to NYU.
That's fantastic. Oh boy, I remember Zoom. Do you remember Zoom? We're gonna Zoom.
Oh, Zoom.
Yes,
Yeah,
Boston, Mass. 02134.
Yeah, totally.
I remember when Charlotte Rae was Miss Molly, the mail lady on Sesame Street.
Oh, I don't remember. I didn't know that. My God.
Yeah, she played that. She had dark jet black hair, and she was
Really?
the mail lady, and then moved on to other things. But yeah, Charlotte Rae. We had her son as a guest on the show. He wrote a book about her and his life, and he's an educator. He's a full-time high school teacher, and really amazing, really fantastic.
It is so funny. I adored her. Of course, I never got to meet her, but when I got out to Los Angeles and I started meeting some of the people from those old like shows that when you're like, I'm not starstruck a lot, even though I have a lot of reverence for people, but I don't get. But if it's somebody from an old TV show, like I just recently had lunch with Wesley Ure, who was in Land of the Lost.
Yes, that's
and
right.
He lives out here, and I'm just like, oh my God.
You know who we had on the show a few weeks ago? Marty Croft of Sid and Marty Croft Productions, who created Land of the Lost and the Brady Bunch Variety Hour and HR Puffin stuff and all those shows. Marty was on the show.
Those shows are like gold to me. Yeah.
Florence Henderson, I had an opportunity to converse with and meet.
Oh,
she actually sat on my lap, which was really amazing.
Not surprising.
She was fantastic. Yes, Florence Henderson, some of my favorites. Florence, Carol Burnett, absolutely. The real deal, no airs about her, warm and funny, and just really fantastic. There's beautiful people out there for sure. Absolutely.
Well, and when you ask me about inspiration, I'll tell you something. I grew up in the theater, and I was lucky to do that. But I have to tell you, I watched all those shows. Like I watched Carol Burnett religiously. And then they had reruns. Like, remember there were 3 stations in any city, like
CBS, NBC, ABC, and then
there was
fourth would be PBS.
Stations. And PBS, and then there was like the independent station.
Independent station, right.
And ours was Channel 11, KTVT, and that had reruns. And so I would watch Dick Van Dyke and I Love Lucy and all the shows. And that's really kind of, in a way, I learned that way too, just by watching all these people.
The classics, the best. Yeah. So did you have a love for television before theater, or were they equal loves?
Well, television, because I grew up in Dallas, although there was some TV and film work way back when. By the late 80s, of course, they were doing Dallas, the TV show there. But there wasn't just, I grew up in the theater. So TV was just this other place somewhere else. And I just thought it would be amazing one day if I could work in TV or film. But I grew up in the theater. And by the time I got to New York, this was back when, I don't know if other people are aware of this, but there was a time, kids, when stage actors stayed over here TV actors stayed over there, and film actors stayed over there, and the worlds did not intermix. That is gone. Like, everybody does everything now, and it's actually amazing.
Yes.
I prefer that, but I did grow up in the theater, and that was sort of what I always wanted to do, and I still, that's my first love, you know.
Is the theater, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and you've had an opportunity to do a lot of incredible things, you know, over the years, Mel. I mentioned Ron and Laura, and again, that's really something extra special. We actually have a clip from that, or
Oh,
clip or
wow.
two that you've sent. Um, Tell us a little bit about these. These are kind of cool. The first one we have is the 3 scenes. Do you recall that, or you want us to just play it? We'll talk about it after. You want to surprise
Um,
everybody?
Maybe, yeah.
Or do you want to,
I know. I think I know the scenes, but just in case, yeah.
and
Let's
give
hear
us
it.
a little bit in case somebody's just joining us, again, the premise for Ron and Laura, a little bit.
Ron and Laura are a Tea Party type couple back during the Obama years that decided to take their country back. They were trying to save the country from Obamacare, illegals, gays,
Yeah.
Muslims, everything that they thought, you know, it's a film about xenophobia.
All right. Here are 3
Yeah.
scenes from Ron and Laura Take Back America. Really, really cool. And check it out. Our special guest on the Jim Master Show Live, Mel England, coming to us not from London, but from Palm Springs.
Well, it all started when Laura got this email from someone at her church.
Francine.
And
Well, no, it wasn't. Well, that wasn't. Go ahead.
yeah, well, and so she showed it to me, and well, that's how it started.
All of it's gotta go.
Ron.
She said I didn't need any of
What are
it.
you doing?
No, she told me I don't need any of it.
Ron.
She said all I had to do was eat peas.
You can get rid of your crazy meds. Ron, will you stop for a second? Ron, you can get rid of your crazy meds, but you have to take your heart medication.
Laura, she said I don't.
What are you talking about?
It's the insurance companies are in on this along with the Obama people. They're trying to get people hooked onto this Medicare system, and then next thing you know,
It's the death panel.
that's right.
Sir, I'm sorry. You've got to leave the premises
No,
right
I
now.
can't leave.
Sir,
No, I am not
sir,
leaving. I am an American.
Sir.
I am not leaving the premises.
Sir!
Oh, or you're gonna do what? You're gonna call the illegals to take me away? The Muslims, the Jews, the gays?
Watch it!
Oh!
What a place to leave them, huh? What a place to leave them.
Yeah.
And now the response, did you get all kinds of different response from people? Or did you get surprised responses?
You know,
I mean,
actually, the surprise, because the premise of the film is that this couple is going to try to take the country back from all of the things they think are going to ruin it, and but they get caught up in this weird. They make a mistake, and they sort of support. You know, the CEO of Whole Foods in real life at the time was Bob Zaki, and so in our film it was Bob Mackey, and they confuse. I mean, in our film it was John Mackey, and they confuse it for Bob Mackey.
Bob Mackey.
Anyway, yeah, so we make it John Zaki and Bob Zaki, and so we have this fashion designer Bob Zaki, and I just instantly met the real Bob Mackey about a month ago. But
Did you really?
they become obsessed in sort of a Borat kind of style. Remember how he got obsessed with Pamela Anderson, and so they think if they can meet this guy, they're gonna figure it all out. And so anyway, it's a film about mistakes and confusion, confused identities, and but what was the question?
Well, we have another clip that may
there's another
answer
clip,
it.
yeah.
This one, I believe, has 5 scenes in it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is the 5-scener, and we'll take a look at this too.
This is
and
when
then
they go on the news. In the beginning of the film, they go on the news because they're trying to do this boycott of the Whole Fruits. A boycott of Whole Fruits, because people in real life were doing a boycott of Whole Foods because it was against healthcare reform.
So you have Whole Fruits,
yeah, Whole Fruits. Yeah.
This is terrific. It's We're going to take a look at that right now, gang, and enjoy. And then we'll be back with lots more to talk about, lots more to show, really cool things. And again, we're just looking at clips from Ron and Laura Take Back America. But that is, if people want to see the whole thing, they can see that on Amazon now.
Yeah, on Amazon Prime.
It's on
It's
Amazon.
right there.
Congratulations for the distribution of it as well. Here's just a few more scenes from Ron and Laura Take Back America. Enjoy, and then we'll be back with our special guest, actor Mel England.
KJO News at Noon, I'm Mark Montilla. Well, the healthcare debate has finally arrived here in Bakersfield. After months of organizing, a local couple is taking on the Obama administration.
It's time to take our country back. Right? It's a nightmare. You know, our paychecks are being taken away to send illegals to my doctor. And they completely edited it to make us look like
There was just one really great part of the interview when Ron was talking about why we were really there, and I was so proud of him for saying that. And did that end up as part of the footage that they aired?
They cut it like
that
in a
wasn't
way
even
to
on
make
the air.
Laissez-faire free market capitalism is in the founding documents of this nation.
That's right. We are a Christian nation.
They made Laura look like an idiot.
And we'll be doing lots of actions. Sundays we're going to meet.
That's when I thought to call Aaron because Aaron.
He works at our church. He does all of the what do you call it?
Videography.
Videography for the
church.
Weddings and when we have events.
Because we thought that if all of these liberals can post things on the YouTubes and places like that.
Why can't we do it? Why can't we do it too?
Also document what we're doing and what we're doing to take our country back.
I actually think that health reform is a good idea.
You know, what the hell is happening down at this Cal State Fullerton? You know, this was your idea, Laura. You sent him down there. You know, we sent you down there to be responsible, to start
there, right?
taking some responsibility for your life.
And also maybe meet a nice girl, right? Well, I'm not like that nose ring Shelly that you dated in high school, right? What was that?
Do you know how many phone calls I had to make to get him into that school?
I know. And what's become of it? What about a young Republicans group, Brian?
You know, I thought you were studying business, young man.
Business? No, that's Mom's idea. I'm not a business major.
What?
No, I want to transfer to Loyola Law School. Remember? I want to be a lawyer. I want to deal with climate change and help serve as an advocate for Indigenous people and developing nations. There's so many people that need help, and there's so much that we need.
Lasagna! Oh, it's okay.
I am taking you out of that school.
What?
You
can't do that.
I can do that.
You
First thing
cannot
Monday morning,
do
I am
that.
calling down there, and
that
I am
camera
Laura.
on?
I am taking him out of that
turn that
school.
I have
camera
a
off,
full
okay?
scholarship.
I don't care what you have.
You
This
cannot.
is not
You
going to
can just
happen.
make a couple phone calls and get me out of that school.
Okay, don't
Yes,
see that way.
you know, I certainly can.
It's a fucking nightmare.
Oh,
You know what?
he didn't
I'm out
do
of here.
that. You need to
Out.
apologize.
How dare you talk that way in our house? Brian, you get back here!
Apologize.
You.
Aaron, turn it off. Go ahead, honey.
There's something I wanted to discuss. I wanted to tell you that I'm gay, and I wanted to, share that with you. Okay, well, this is cliche, right?
This is all your fault.
The awkward silence.
This is all your fault. Ever since you enrolled him in that drama camp and they started doing those theatrical musicals,
Your father loves you. Don't worry about it.
they
Okay?
started dating that Shelley girl with the blue hair and the punk band thing and
Honey, he
shopping
just-
at Restoration Hardware.
Okay, he
Laura,
just doesn't want you to make decisions that could be very damaging to your future. Okay? No, look, I have this. I brought. Look, just it's just lucky I have my Bible
Mom,
here.
no.
No, look, and I underlined the most important passages with my Jesus pencil.
Mom, I don't
I
want
just
that.
one passage, okay? Let me find
Brian,
something in here for
Look,
you.
I'm
Okay?
not trying to change who I am. I wanted to share with you who I am, or at least a part of who I am.
You mean the godless part.
No,
You mean the going to hell part. Brian, this is a lifestyle choice.
No, I found it. It's
You've
right
made-
here. Let me read this to
No,
you.
Mom,
okay?
I don't want to hear it.
Don't talk to your mother in that tone of voice.
Don't come in here and talk to
What are you
No,
talking
I know
about?
what we need to do.
Brian,
I'm trying to open up.
Hey! Everybody, let's just calm down. Everyone take a deep breath for
who the hell are you?
That's
What?
Gary.
Oh.
That's Gary. Remember, I told you about him. He has the wife that lives in Boston.
I don't have a wife.
To Gary.
Wait,
no,
in Boston with
Uh,
the daughter, and they're coming down, and you're gonna find a place to live.
No, that's not right at all.
Gary.
What?
What's happening?
Brian and I, we're engaged.
Gary, kitchen now.
What? We love each other, we're engaged. Deal with it, people. That's the way it is.
Honey,
Out in black and white. I'm sure you understand black and white, don't you? Yeah, black and white.
take some deep breaths. Wait a minute. Take some deep breaths. You want to come sit down? What are you doing?
Well, they're puritanical.
Honey,
Bible.
look, just breathe. Breathe. Remember the doctor said to stay calm.
Oh!
Run! Brian!
Oh!
Brian, your father! Honey? Honey,
Gary,
are you
call
okay?
911.
Just breathe. Breathe slowly, okay? Breathe slowly.
Can I get anything?
Maybe a washcloth or something. No, come here, help me.
Not
Just,
today.
okay, just rub his chest a little and keep breathing. No, what? No!
Hi. Yes.
What was he doing?
We need an ambulance here.
No!
Immediately.
They're calling 911. We haven't paid our deductible. Ron, get up!
Yes.
Get out! We have to get out!
White male.
We have to pay our
What's he doing?
deductible.
What's
Ron,
he
we
doing?
gotta go.
We
It's
can't
$800.
go.
We can't pay for this.
I don't know.
Let's go.
Please, I know it's good questions.
He's not well. Mentally disturbed as well.
Mr. and Mrs. Grazel, I'm Amatullah Alma, Director of Serenity Meadows. Welcome. Did you enjoy your tour? No, please sit.
Ron, sit down.
Welcome to Serenity Meadows. How did you find out about us?
Actually, a member of our church let us know.
Wonderful. Your mother? No. Oh, is she your mother?
Yes.
Oh, Mrs. Grazel.
Mother Grossel.
Mother Grazel. Oh, how wonderful. Mother Grazel would, from what Mrs. Grazel explained to me on the phone, be more likely a candidate for what we call our assisted living program, which allows residents their own apartment and a feeling of their own independence.
No, wait. No, she can't be left at
While
all.
also having a 24-hour nurse living on the floor with them.
And she needs to be watched.
She'd be under constant surveillance. We have security cameras on every floor. I run a very tight ship. It appears Grandmother Grossel's
Mother Grossel.
forgive me, Mother Grossel. It appears she's in the proverbial donut hole.
Donut hole.
Yes, well, from her current holdings, of which it seems like she's got quite a bit of it, she has about $100,000 in assets. She would need to spend that down before she could qualify to Medicaid. And we could set up an auto pay. And in about 12 months, she'll be completely
Wiped out.
Medicaid eligible. And
No.
then we can.
Look, we can't. Ron,
Absolutely not.
look, she wanted that money to go to our son, to Brian, to pay for his grad school, right, Ron?
Yes.
Well, then, to be completely honest, you're going to have to get rid of that money.
What do you mean?
We can't know that it's there if you want to apply for Medicaid.
Well, Ron, you have that lawyer friend at the church.
Yeah.
He could move some money around.
Sure.
Would that work?
In addition, even if she's on the Medicaid contract, that only covers a portion of her monthly cost. Did she have insurance?
No.
Well, if you're not willing to use Mother Grossel's own money for her care, then you will need to find the money elsewhere. And if you can't find the money elsewhere, then you will have to go elsewhere.
She's my mother.
lady, she's not your mother. She's my mother Grozel, number one.
I understand.
Number two,
This
what
is
kind of
very
facility
emotional.
is this?
Pardon me?
Did you say your name was Ayatollah?
What?
You know
My
what this
name
is.
is Amatullah Alma.
They get them on Medicare.
I
and then
am
you know
the
what?
director of this facility.
We know what. You know what's after
What
that?
does my
Medicare.
name have to do with anything here?
Yeah, death panels. We see this for what it is. I am not letting my mother stay with these people.
We liked it here.
Laura!
I'll call you. We'll talk further, okay?
Laura!
Brian.
Dad. 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 Son.
I'm gonna get the nurse.
Okay.
Really, really cool stuff, huh? Wow.
I hadn't seen some of that in a while, so yeah.
Yeah, huh? Who were you channeling anybody playing that role? Is anybody you know or relative
Actually,
or
when
friend?
we first started doing that, we first started making it as a short, and I sort of knew lots of people. I grew up being from Texas. I had family members that were very conservative, of course, and so, but I sort of modeled his voice and so sort of his vocal patterns actually on Dick Cheney. Because Dick Cheney would, like, literally his daughter could be exploding in front of him and he'd be like, well, my daughter's exploding in front of me. So that was kind of
I think you nailed it too.
but the thing, I mean, obviously you see that in almost every other scene or every scene, Ron just explodes all the time and then Laura's befuddled. But the whole premise of the movie, which I forgot to set up, was that they decide to make a mockumentary or not. No, we made a mockumentary, but they're making a documentary about their activism because they want to take their country back. And at some point, Laura explains that, liberals are doing YouTube. And so it's interesting now because what happened is, I think soon thereafter, we saw that a lot of I think it's happening in the country, a lot of the methods that people on the right are now using are methods that many people had used in the 60s and 70s. Like, so the idea of protest and the idea of, even the tools of social media as a way to, and we watched how that kind of evolved. So I think, we didn't necessarily think that Ron and Laura were going to win. I think, in the scheme of things, but, the film is really about a country that's divided amongst itself. And we were not actually, some people thought we were picking sides. A lot of my conservative friends actually liked the movie, and they would actually think it made an argument for their side, which I thought was always funny because I'm very liberal, but I was trying to be fair in the respect of Ron and Laura just cared. They even cared about their son. They just didn't think he should be gay, and all of that kind of stuff. And the film is filled with hypocrisy. You see, that was Irene Bedard in that scene playing the Muslim American woman who is running the retirement home. And then she starts giving them pointers on how to, like, kind of, you know, like jockey the system to get him in, you know. So everybody in the film is a little good and a little, you know, got their dark side too. So we tried to be fair that way. We did have some people that just thought it was a smackdown on conservatives, and I don't think it's fair, because we're actually not that nice to liberals either. I mean, the health food lady that works at the health food store, that they, you know, she ends up just being after, you know, the money, and everybody's kind of a little got their agenda.
They have their agenda, right?
Yeah.
But it was really well done. Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, the thing about it that's the most crazy now, looking back at it, is we really wanted to make it look like a homemade. We went to great lengths to have it shot. Like, you'll see that scene that you saw with the son coming out as gay and his fiance, or the son played sort of beautifully by Christian Van Bremen. You know, that scene we did all in one take. And so we would do these things in takes, because in normal filmmaking, you do this person and that person and wide shots, and you cut it all together. And we wanted it to feel authentically like this is somebody just filming as they go along, and a guy from their church. The thing that happened is that there were some people that actually didn't understand. Like, I think some people actually thought this is just this, like, some movie somebody made in a basement somewhere. So it's funny, because in a way we how do I put this? Yeah. Like today, like, so when the film was coming out, like, you know, people were used to seeing The Office or these reality shows where things are they have the illusion of being real, but they're very slickly
with
produced.
The camera movements and all. Exactly.
Everything is very kind of, you know, contained and and edited, and so we wanted to give it the feel of being really rough around the edges. Some people don't understand that things actually are, you know, if you're going to be authentically real, it's not going to be highly produced.
Perfect.
So
right.
in a way, we were too successful in that, because I think it can use some people. But on the other hand, now when I watch the way these kids use Instagram and everything, you know, everybody's got a camera, can make things. Yes. In a way, I think we were just sort of
ahead of your time.
Know, in a way, yeah. I'm not trying to, you know, it was all, you know, like luck and happenstance, and, you know, we just wanted to make a movie where we address these issues.
Yes, and you did a great job. And again, if folks are looking for it, there it is again. Ron and Laura Take Back America. It's available on Amazon. As I mentioned, if you missed, we got a chance to actually see the preview a few years back in New York with our friends, and it was really fantastic. You know, there's a lot more. We've got a lot more to show everybody in the share. But as your career has just continued to blossom, Mel, you were in this as well, investigation discovery, which people, of course, know from television. Tell us about this, because you've dabbled on stage, film, and television.
Yeah, I'm surprised you found that. That's amazing.
Oh, I do my research.
I did do Unusual Suspects, and that actually was probably one of the I would say probably one of the hardest things I ever did. And when I say that, it's because those are based on real life stories,
real things happening.
Yeah. And so the guy I played was, just put it this way, he's very tortured. And knowing that this person it was a real person, it was actually very emotional. I mean, you know, I showed up on set and they'd recreated a murder scene, and you realize this is a real life. So it's just, it hit closer to home than a fictional thing where, you know, it's all pretend, and you know, and then you're working very hard to make it feel real. But I didn't have to work very hard, actually. It was just, you know, I just wanted to do this person justice, if that makes sense.
Yeah, right, exactly. And that's quite a bit of exposure to be on Investigation Discovery too, because that has a huge following. A lot of people follow that series.
I have a friend that still watches that episode Christmas morning. She watches it every Christmas.
Does she
friend
really?
Wonderly, yeah, she'll write me. She's like, I'm watching your episode. I'm like, it's such a
On
great
Christmas
thing.
Day.
On Christmas Day, I know.
It's like not watching Frosty the Snowman, but watching that.
But I've done a few things. You know, I just
Missing.
There we go. Okay, yeah, that was actually that I really I love that. There was a short film and a filmmaker that you know, a young guy that had like literally just gotten out of film school, and I can't remember if I just met him or if I auditioned but it's you know, it was amazing to me because you're watching a man go through this like midlife crisis, and there was something about the relationship between the husband and the wife, and I just thought this kid is so sophisticated, and I was for sure this must be his father and his mother, and that this was some deep dark thing. And then we shot like literally part of the movie in his parents' house, and they were like the sweetest, nicest people. And then I even said to the mom, I was like, are you worried that this is about you guys? And she was like, no, he's just really creative.
He's just really creative.
But I will say to people, you can't see it, but in the pool, there's a frog. And I'll just say that a frog plays a critical part of this film. I think it may be on YouTube or something, so people can look it up. Anyway, persona non grata.
I mentioned this. Yeah, tell us about that.
That film is actually was my very first lead in a feature film, and so I was, you know, thrilled. And I was in New York. I had just I'd kind of gone back to study again with Terry Schreiber, and you know, I was thrilled that I had and I play. It's a now very common genre, comedy horror film, but at the time it was not that common. You know, it was sort of like I don't know. So the fact that it was sort of almost a send up of a horror film, but it's about this kid Rowan who wants to break out of the family business, and they just happen to be cannibals, and he doesn't want to be a cannibal anymore. So somehow the family of cannibals, they work at a mortuary, and my character is the director of the mortuary who provides them with the dead people, the people to eat. And in exchange, they have to give me their blood, and then I stay alive forever because I'm a vampire. I'm like 800 years old or something. So, and the craziest part about it is my friend.
That one they show on Thanksgiving.
You just started it. So it's funny because my friend Wendy Charles was the lead actress. She was playing the mom, and she was brilliant in the film. And they had a guy that was playing my part, and something happened, and he couldn't, like, I don't know, he had a family emergency. And so it was like a week before they started shooting, and they called me up and they said, okay, well, we're looking for an actor who can do this. And it's a mortuary director, so he's sort of like Lurch, you know, and but he keeps making jokes about dead people. And I just like looked at the script and I thought, this isn't Lurch. And because he kept making jokes and cracking himself up. Like one of his lines was, you know, the kid saying like, I don't want to be a mortician, or, you know, whatever. And then my character says, well, you know, death is still our nation's #1 killer, you know, like, and I making silly jokes. So I was like, I'm going to do like base it on Paul Lynde. So it's like sort of my odd, weird homage to Paul Lynde, like this idea that this guy is running around making jokes all the time and laughing at himself.
That is funny. You mentioned also having a real passion for nostalgic television, as I do. And we've had a lot of guests who have come through here. Donnie Most and Anson Williams and Marion Ross have been here. Kathy Garver, she's coming back on our show. Sissy from Family Affair, guests from Little House on the Prairie and the Waltons, and so much more. This is cool.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us about this.
I was in Childhood of the 70s, which is Michael Vaccaro. Michael Vaccaro's in the middle square there. And
Bruce that's on the bottom, and he was a guest on our show. Judy Tenuta, she was on, and she's coming back on our show in a couple of weeks.
And then, of course, Susan Olsen from Cindy Brady and the Brady Bunches at the bottom, and Ted Lange, and Randy Jones from the Village People. All these people were on the show, and I think he was in season 5 or season 4. I was in season 4 of season 5, and Michael had been shooting with all, and of course Terry Ray, who I do Electricity with. Terry Ray was one of the series regulars, and that's how I got into Electricity. But anyway, that show was so much fun. There are like not only all these like 70 stars, which also Ann Walker is on that show, who people know from Sordid Lives, and I'm forgetting a million names because a million people were on the show.
So many people,
But it was the wild part about it, Jim, is I'd been in LA for many years. I'd done a bunch of projects. But when Michael asked me to be on the show and I suddenly started meeting these people, I was like, oh, I found my tribe. Like, there's everybody on the show. And that speaks a lot to Michael Vaccaro, the creator and star of the show, because he created such a family. It was such a wonderful group of people. Some of my great friends are still like, and now I'm doing Terry Ray's Electricity for years. And I met Terry on set that day. So
isn't that incredible? Anyway. Absolutely. Really, really fantastic.
And I had a scene with Bruce Valanche. So I was, my character was sort of an uppity actor in LA that Bruce Valanche is the casting director. And so he gets me into this Broadway show. So I go to New York, and anyway, I'll let people find out what happens to my character. I'm basically the bad seed in that show. Yeah.
And then there's this too, and we actually have some clips from this. Tell us about Best Day Ever, which has also swept lots of incredible awards as well.
Best Day Ever is a really lovely, sweet film that Jeff London, the filmmaker, I think I auditioned for it, and it's about sort of a May-December romance between my character, who's turning 50, and Tom Saporito, who plays the younger version. And it's actually based on Jeff's real life. He met a younger man and they fell in love, but it's sort of about my character's struggle to, can I really date somebody 20 years younger than me? Can I really allow myself to be in love after you've been burned so many times? And so it's really a very simple love story. Jeff has a sort of a trademark. He had been in LA for a long time, and then he started making his own movies, gay films about what he calls small town gays. So it's not about San Francisco, New York, Los Angeles. The films are actually about it. So we live in a very small town in Arizona in this film. And there is something about that I was so drawn to, because if you've ever been to a small town in the gay community, it actually is a very different vibe. And I'll just say that people in urban centers, straight or gay, get caught up in all of the, the status and privilege, and I have to be
the drama and all
latest, the drama and the latest fashions, and people are just, so it's a really lovely genre, and I'm very proud of the film because people still write me to this day, especially older gay men. It can be very hard. I was at the time we made the film, it was coming out, and I was asked by Out Magazine to write something about the film. And so I think the article was called Best Day Ever, Gay Midlife and the American Dream. And really what I was trying to get underneath is why I felt like what the film was about, and what I was so passionate about with it was the idea that there's a generation of gay guys that, suddenly marriage equality was there. Suddenly, all of these things that we did. But for a generation that I'm in, between the AIDS crisis and growing up in the closet, a lot of us never even learned how to date. And so suddenly you're expected to be married and have 401ks and do it all right. And it was sort of just an acknowledgement of the fact that we got all this, but now what are we going to do? How are we actually going to, and a lot of my friends, a lot of people struggle to this day. And so, because you didn't get to go to the prom with somebody, you didn't get to, do all those things that are normal in your 20s. I mean, I started having to learn how to date when I was in my 30s, because I didn't, before that, we thought we were supposed to keep it secret. And I lived a long time in show business in the closet, like so many other people, because it wasn't safe to be out. So you kind of have this stunted, bifurcated life. And anyway, so the film is really about two gay men that decide to do the craziest thing and in that world, and that is to be in love.
We actually have some clips here too that have been provided us, and we're going to show those, give people a sense. We have Best Day Ever Scene 2. Did you want to preface that a little bit?
Oh, Scene 2. I am so curious which scene this is.
Yeah.
I know I sent these clips, but I didn't think it's a guessing game. So why don't we talk about it afterwards?
So it's a potpourri of surprises, and we'll all be surprised, including the star will be surprised as well. Mel England is in the house here, live and direct from Palm Springs, California. I'm your host, Jim Masters. You're watching the Jim Masters Show Live, entertainment lifestyle talk show series, where we're bringing back the lost art of conversation. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Absolutely. They should all subscribe, right, Mel?
Oh, absolutely.
And click that
Hit it right
notification
now.
bell.
Hit it. Is it down there?
Right now. Yes.
Down there.
Yeah, it's right there. It's right. See it? You see it, folks? It's right there. There it is. Click that. Click it. It's red. It's free. Costs nothing. And it helps us out. Lets us know you're enjoying all the shows. Some 630 shows we've done of this series since May of 2020, which is amazing. I know, it's really, really incredible.
Congratulations.
Really. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Best day ever. We love it. And here's a clip. This is Scene 2. And we shall all be surprised when we when we watch this particular clip. Here we go. Best day ever.
David? Happy birthday. Yeah. Well, I didn't know if I should come by.
It's your house.
Yeah. I mean, I want you to stay here till, us. I mean, if there's a future.
Yeah.
Well, so, how are things?
Fine.
Yeah?
I guess.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of thinking.
Oh, you know what? Me too. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of thinking. And, I mean, look, it was wrong for me to say some of those things to you. I get that, And, look, if you want to eat junk food, I shouldn't pick on you, And I should support you with your career choices. I know, maybe sometimes you can be a little too sensitive, but that's...
I don't think I'm too sensitive. And even if I am, I just want to be sure sometimes that my life is the one I want with the person I want. Greg, I have busted my ass for years to make something of my life. And, I'm not sure sometimes if I'm doing it right, but shouldn't that be okay?
Yeah, if I talk it out, if I'm allowed to express my thoughts and my feelings.
Yeah, fine. Look, listen, that's great. I want you to do that, and if you want me, I can be that for you. I can. You know, if you just give me another chance. How about we have your birthday dinner together? Just the two of us. Tomorrow night. I'll give you a break from me tonight. But tomorrow it can be you and me. Alone. Hmm?
I have to think about things.
Yeah, okay. Think about it, huh? Hmm? Hmm? Hmm?
Well, maybe there is hope for us.
Yeah, that's all I'm asking. Come on. You know, I'm really not as bad as your friend James makes me out to be. Besides, once you and I get worked out, maybe we can figure out a way for you to go back to school. And, you know, work on a new career. You know, improve on your life a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah. Take away some of that insecurity that you have, you know? I know you're not as happy as you could be. You just need to make some changes. Oh, boy. Well, I better get going. Oh. And it's up early, back to the gym before work.
Hey, Greg. You really had me there.
What?
You really care about me, about my life, all those things you said. I think what you want is someone who you can show off. You know, someone you can take home to mom and dad. Someone who is pretty and well built and all scrubbed up and you're equal. But that person isn't me.
What are you saying?
I like who I am. You know, I like that I was raised in the country by my mom and my Okie grandparents. I like that I come from a good upbringing. You know, maybe we didn't have everything, but I had what I needed. But you'd never want to take me home to your parents. I'm not from the right side of the tracks. You know, maybe I don't make enough money. Maybe I never will. Maybe I'll always like, you know, fried bologna sandwiches and walks in the country. At the end of the day, I can live with my choices, and I need to make the right choice. About us.
You're saying no?
Well, I'll stay with James until I get this figured out. And
No, it's fine. It's fine. Just stay here. Whatever. A week, 2 weeks, whatever. It's fine.
Very moving, very riveting, huh?
Wow. That
Yeah.
so that was not the scene where my character falls in love. That's the guy that I had to break up with to find the other guy. That was Nate Moore, who's just this amazing actor, Juilliard actor. That there's just I love watching him. You know, it's so funny when you act. I half the time you can't really watch yourself, but I can watch Nate. He's really fantastic. And anyway, you almost feel like he's going to be like a serial killer or something.
Sort of that feeling. Yes, right.
But he's a sweetheart and a really great guy, and it was such a joy to work with him.
That is really, really cool. Where can people see that?
That also is on Amazon Prime.
That's on Amazon Prime as well.
Yeah, I think that's a rental, but you can you can always get it there. And I think it's also on the filmmaker's website. I think it's radioactivecactus.com. There might be other options, but yeah.
Very cool. Here's another one you were in, Unusual Suspects.
Oh yeah. Well, didn't we talk about that earlier?
Yes.
Yeah. That was Christmas Morning. No, is that the right one? No, that was ID. Unusual Suspects.
Investigation Discovery is Christmas Morning. Yeah, this was
Unusual Suspects. I think I was a detective. I can't remember. Oh, I can't remember.
So many, right? That's a cool thing. That's a good thing. That means AmeriCult, another one. Some are short.
That's actually that is a script that's in development. We haven't. That's a friend of mine, Rachel Masters, who.
What's her name?
Grew up in a cult. Her name is Rachel Masters, and she's the writer, and it's based on her life. And
Rachel Masters.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Let's see. What's my name again? Jim Masters.
Yeah, I know.
Rachel
Did
Masters.
she grow up in your cult? No, but she grew up in a cult, and
she grew up in a
and
cult.
so it's actually based on the story of her own personal story. It's very, anybody who understands, I've been very open in my life with a lot of my, issues, stories, and, but there is a common theme that happens. Like, I'm a sexual abuse survivor. I went on Oprah and talked about that a long time ago. But it's interesting when you're in that community around people that also are dealing with very thin line between people that grew up in cults and like sexual. There's a lot of intersecting similarities in the family dynamics. So it's one of the reasons I really wanted to support her in making the film. So we've been in development. She's writing another script, and I hope that we're going to be able to make that.
That's exciting. So that is in the works. That's something that's in progress that we could hopefully see soon then eventually, right?
Yeah, from your lips to God's ears. Yeah.
My lips to God's ears.
Yeah.
If everybody's listening, take notes. Here's another two. Little Big Top. Yes. Tell us about that.
So that
show people
is
a variety of your work.
I wish we could show a clip from Little Big Top, but unfortunately, due to all the
copyright and everything.
So Little Big Top was Sid Haig. yeah, there's that. But the Sid Haig is the star of the film. Sid, who people know mainly from her big horror movie star, so Rob Zombie films, and anyway, Sid was incredible, and this is sort of his turn. So he was in all the other films, but this is a very, very about a clown. Sid had been famous as being the clown in the House of a Thousand Corpses, and there was another one. So the filmmaker sort of pursued Sid, got Sid, and Sid was excited to do it because it was a drama, really, about got an old clown came back to his hometown. You would never know this, but in Indiana, before Barnum and Bailey used to winter in Florida, they used to go winter in Indiana. And there are these towns that still have little circuses that are training grounds for people. They rehearse, and then the young kids learn the acrobats, all the stuff. And so the town that the filmmaker was from, Peru, Indiana, had a little circus there. And everybody, it's the town thing. And so it's a movie really about Ward Roberts' hometown, Peru, Indiana, and plays sort of the town. I play sort of Sid's foil. I'm the town drunk that wants him to come out and get in trouble. And my character was based on real. All characters were based on real people. And so when I got on, I was very concerned. Well, I didn't actually know it was Peru, Indiana, but I did not know that Ward, it was actually a town.
Wow.
And that was a God. And I have to get this right. So there was a whole thing with the accent, and fortunately the Indiana accent was similar enough to this, like a kind of a Texas thing, just a very, north central Texas I was from. So I was able to sort of, I just remember, these guys were down here. So they're kind of like, so I was doing that, and I had a tail. That was fun. And I had an American flag, American eagle tattoo. It was a really sweet film. But Sid Haig, talk about those old TV stars. Sid told me this amazing story. He had been on, I think it was Here's Lucy, not I Love Lucy, but then there was another one. And
Here's Lucy, and then there was I Love Lucy, then The Lucy Show with Vivian Vance, and then Here's Lucy with Gail Gordon at the bank.
And I think it was Here's Lucy, because both of the kids were
they
on.
worked at the bank. That would be Lucy and Desi. Yeah, Here's Lucy.
Right, and so so this episode was the episode that they were going on location, like to any TV show. So they were going to LAX airport, and Sid Haig, who always played the heavy, he was very famous in the Pam Grier film, the blaxploitation film, where he did bad things to Pam Grier and she got revenge. So Sid was very famous as the bad guy. So his first big breaks in Hollywood, and he's doing the scene with Lucille Ball. And so the premise is that I guess he's the cab driver, and she didn't have the money to pay the taxi fare, and so he was going to take her hostage or something. And Lucy and Lucy Arnaz and Desi Jr. somehow have to rescue her, and like a crate of banana cream pies happen to just come by, and so they start throwing banana cream pies, of course. And so the director yells "cut," and then Desi Jr. doesn't stop throwing pies at Sid. And so evidently in that moment, Lucy, this is what's told me, Lucy stopped. Everything is like stop, sort of screaming at Desi Jr. Yeah. You never.
Sort of a tease there. You froze, my friend. You never. You never. Do we have to put another quarter in the machine to get the answer? Anybody got a quarter? You guys got a quarter? He froze there a little bit. Well, let's take a look at some of the comments that are coming in. We always do that. And then he'll readjust and reboot in Palm Springs, California there. Sort of entrance of the desert. Probably warm. And maybe the Wi-Fi not so hot. Sherry Larson, wow, possibly a Kleenex movie. Talking about the clip that we just showed. Absolutely. You thought it was you that froze there in Southern California. No, you're not frozen. He's frozen and he zapped out. But he'll be back. What a touching clip, Merlin says, because we have some more to show you, too. Some really cool things. You love bologna sandwiches. I had heard that. I think one of the other episodes you had said that, right? Our very special guest, again, is Mel England. And really, really cool. There's and he'll be back again in just a second. Let me show you there's some other shots from other things he's been a part of, just to show you the wide range of characters that he can play. And when he comes back, he can explain some of these. But I mean, you bring him the character. There he is playing a police officer. You bring him the character and he can nail it beautifully. Here's some more, too, from his work, his incredible repertoire of work. Yep. You may have seen this. No Goodbyes as well. These are just some. Some of them are shorts. Some of them film. You mentioned Broadway, Off-Broadway, that type of thing. Yeah, stage as well. And he's talking about some of these going to Off-Broadway, which I think is really, really cool. Now, we have another clip here while he's setting things up there and getting reacclimated in Palm Springs. This is a clip that's hot off the presses. We're going to show it, and hopefully he'll be back. He'll be able to sign back in unless, he could have a storm going through perhaps. Oh, he's coming back. There he is. Welcome back.
Wow. Thank God I had my other computer here. I don't know what I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. It happens. It happens all the time. We were just talking about some of the other photos that we had, like this one here. This is cool.
That's from Persona non grata. That's where I'm playing the mortician, the evil mortician that's actually like 800 years old. That's me and Sid in Little Big Top. And you can sort of see in the back side there, I have a tail coming down the back of my head.
Yes.
The hair and makeup person had to work very hard. There I am drinking. They had to work very hard every day to get that tail on me. It was funny. That's Archaeology of a Woman with Sally Kirkland.
Yes, Sally Kirkland. She might be
sort
coming
of
on our show, too. I hope so, yeah.
Oh, have you had Sally on your show?
Not yet. No, I'd love to. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I'll hook you up. She's a dear friend.
Fantastic.
She is brilliant, Oscar-nominated. She was nominated for a film called Anna, and then she won the Golden Globe, and she's been in 152 billion movies, including The Sting and The Way We Were. And so to get to work with Sally Kirkland was
incredible.
And in the movie, she had that's me and Judson Jones, a really wonderful New York actor, playing my sidekick, the cop. And I always say I arrested Sally. She has Alzheimer's in the film, and we have to take her home, and it's the setup for the entire film. And it's so interesting because when we were doing the film, something happened. We were shooting some of the scenes one day, and then we had to come back and shoot another. And then they weren't going to have, we ran late. So they were going to cut. And then the next day they weren't going to have the car. And Sally was like, no, we have to have the car because, it's so important. The scene sets up the entire film. And I'm so glad that she and the director, and they worked it out. I'm trying to figure out my light. Sorry, I moved a little bit. Anyway, so yeah.
Very cool. So
Sally actually, honestly, should have gotten, there was a little bit of an Oscar campaign for her. For that performance. Victoria Clark, Broadway actress, plays her daughter who's dealing with her dementia. Mary Testa, another really incredible Broadway actress, is also plays the lady at the retirement home. Really an amazing cast, and I was just I just was like, okay, tell me where to stand.
Tell me where to stand. I'm just happy to be here. Absolutely. We showed a couple of others when you were getting things set up again. Tell us about No Goodbyes.
No Goodbyes. This is actually just out on Amazon Prime, and people also can watch it on Here TV if they have a subscription. No Goodbyes is Billy Clift directed. We made it during the pandemic. It's about 3 gay men in the Holocaust, actually.
The Holocaust, wow.
It's what was wild when Billy first approached me about the film, I didn't even know he wanted me to be in it. I thought he just wanted me to read the script. But one of the first things he said to me is he co-wrote it with this brilliant British writer, Simon Okora. But one of the things about it was he was saying, there's actually generationally, like when we were younger, people knew that there was Bent, which was about 2 gay guys in a concentration camp. But there's a lot of kids now that don't know that there were gay people. And the thing that was the most remarkable in the whole experience was, you see this old man who's reliving the story, and Billy actually got a real Holocaust survivor to play the older. So he's telling the story of when he was young in there. And then my character is also there. I'm sort of a capo, which if you don't know, some people don't know, but capo is sort of they would have prisoners that were also sort of the guards or the heads of the. So it's a very complicated story of 3 gay men that are, one's a Nazi, one's the capo, one's the prisoner. And in reality, it's 3, they're all prisoners in a way, because they're, it's been wild to have in the film. We just won. I was really excited about it. It's called an Impact Award, and the film was up with all these major studios, and it was an award really for the filmmakers as a film that makes it kind of an important impact. And I was very excited about that.
That's exciting, right? Huh?
Congratulations
on that.
Trying to make it into a feature. They're going to try to. So we'll keep our fingers crossed on that.
Now, you had just worked with him, and I'm talking about filming even today, because we have something that is so hot off the presses, the equipment is smoking. Here, I mean, literally within about 10 minutes before we went live, this thing came right in, and here we are.
Here we are.
Tell us about it.
Billy Clift, who's an Emmy-nominated, brilliant director. He's done, I don't know, maybe about 10 films, and he was nominated for an Emmy for a documentary that he made called about the Advocate, Long Road to Freedom. Anyway, Billy is a friend, and I'd made No Goodbyes with him, but we'd actually already started shooting Here We Are right before the pandemic, and then as a short. And then what happened was when we were finishing shooting, it ran a little long, and it's really the premise was racism in the gay community. And what happened is that then the shutdown happened, and we were like, well, and in the meantime, we thought, well, maybe it's a feature, and because Billy had so much footage, and how are we going to cut it down? So we had developed this first draft, and then out of that, we decided, wait, this COVID thing was happening. We didn't know how long it was going to be, so we decided to incorporate COVID, incorporate Black Lives Matter, incorporate a lot of that's going on around masking, not masking. So the film has really become sort of about here we are, where we are in our country with, so my character is dating is Jewish, his character's Black. There's the internal racism in the gay community, and then there's everything that's going on within the society. And Sally Kirkland, actually, I got to work with Sally again. She plays my mother.
Wow.
And I won't exactly, she's got a very bad drinking problem. So I'm having to sort of overcome my issues. He overcomes these issues. And we've got this amazing cast, Christina Lee, who everybody knows from 90210 and the original
90210.
Chucky movies. She
Yeah.
and Chucky is back. She's on Sci-Fi and USA playing in that. She plays sort of the best friend who sort of sets us up. And we've got Greg Zarian, who is like in a million things nowadays, and a fabulous actor who plays my ex. And then we have also Will Jackson, who is this tremendous actor who I met on the set of a film, and and I am so excited for Will because I think he's going to have. He already is having
an incredible career.
Really
yeah.
Help him. So we've got quite a cast, and Elizabeth Regan, who people may not, New Yorkers will know Elizabeth. Elizabeth is this amazing New York actress, and she actually was for 2 seasons on the show called Whoopi. Whoopi had a sitcom.
Right.
And Elizabeth was sort of the comic foil too. Anyway, and Elizabeth plays, I'll just say, you remember the lady in Central Park that like got in all the trouble with the guy
walking the dog and accused the guy of harassing
There's a
her?
scene like that at a gas station where she thinks he's trying to squeegee her car, and I am so proud of this movie. Anyway.
And this is literally hot off the presses. Do you know
And
what?
This scene is right after this lady. We have this like scene with this Karen lady at the gas station, and we've just driven away. And this is the scene.
So literally, folks, you're seeing what is a world premiere exclusive of the Jim Master Show Live, which happens often. This clip just came to us maybe an hour ago, and it's fresh as this is being shot and filmed. And we have it here exclusively on the Jim Master Show Live. Here we are, Mel England on the Jim Master Show. Enjoy.
John, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. John, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Okay. No. Wait, that was completely fucked up. No, that was completely unacceptable. No, we have to go back there right now.
Phil, stop. It's being fucking black in America. And you're right, it's not okay. It's fucked up. And I'm not fine. I'm so sick and tired of sidestepping everything my entire life. Ignoring the comments and innuendos and the fucking jokes behind my back. I'm not even talking about the gay ones. Being terrified of seeing a cop car. Seeing a white woman grab her purse tighter when I walk by. Being followed in a store by store security. I'm a fucking attorney. I work so hard to be treated as a professional. Most times, 100 times harder than anybody else. It's insane to have to live this way. It's not acceptable. It can't be acceptable. It has to stop. And nothing changes if we stay quiet. So we're going to this fucking rally. All the fucking rallies. Thank you.
And there's music that goes underneath, which we had to sort of soften there because of the copyright thing, but very riveting, huh? That is really. Yeah, now you're just seeing it now, and what's running through your veins right?
I'm just so proud of the film. It's I'm very excited for people to see it. I think we're dealing with what we're going through now in the country, and I feel like a lot of the stuff I've done has been lucky enough to work on things that I think are about the conversations that we're having right now, and the conversations we need to have about race, and the conversations we need to have about you know, just how are we all going to get along together? And I think, you know, we're at a critical time, and I never thought I'd see this in our lifetime, but I don't think there's any way around it. I think we just have to continue to look at it head in the face.
Right, exactly. You're all, you know, moved by what you saw, because literally that's hot off the presses. And is there a target for that? People can keep an eye on when that one is expected to be out.
Well, you know, we've got a couple more days of shooting, actually, in the next month, and then we should be finished with the production part, and then Billy's going to start editing it ASAP, and we're hoping to have something out like in festivals by the fall. So
how's it been? You know, and I know from a lot of work I've done in television and other areas, and just a lot of our colleagues in the industries, it's been really interesting filming, whether indoors or outdoors, with the whole COVID situation happening. So how have you been dealing with that, and how has everybody been coping with it and working around all of it? It's been a little crazy.
yeah, you know, well, we did No Goodbyes in the pre-vaccine. We did it in November of 2019, and like, you know, they have the protocols now, which are, you know, now everybody needs to be vaccinated. But even before when people started going back into work, the fall of 2020, you know, it's very important testing before you get on set. Testing every day in some situations. You have the masks, you have, you know, like all the crews in masks, and then even when you stop shooting, actors have to put the mask on. Sometimes because of makeup, they have to make contingencies. They have these things called Zone A, Zone B, Zone C. It's all very worked out. And even at that, it's not fail-safe. You have to be as careful as you can. And luckily, you know, we've been very safe, and you know, but you know, a couple of weeks ago, not from filming, just I think I had to take my father to the emergency room, so we ended up getting COVID here at the house.
COVID, yeah.
And so it was just like a bad cold, and thank God for the booster. You know, we're good. I'm so ready for this to be over.
Yes.
I think we all are. Yeah.
It's like a Twilight Zone episode that won't end. Yeah.
But it's been funny because, you know, here we are, we had a different draft of the feature that we were going to finish. And then we were like, how are we going to incorporate COVID? It was like, is this going to be 2 weeks? Is it going to be 2 months? Is it going to be 2 years, 2 decades? We didn't know. And so it wasn't until the vaccine started, they started talking about the vaccine, that Billy and Will and I wrote the original script. And then when Billy came on as a director and we decided to make a feature, Billy joined the writing team. So the three of us are writing it together. And we realized we had to incorporate COVID and also, you know, George Floyd and Black Lives Matter, because this is a relationship about these two guys. My character's having to sort of, you know, my character, oddly enough, this is the first time you're getting the first interview about this. I'm not Jewish American, and but I am half Hispanic, and my birth mother actually was Native American and Spanish. My adopted mother's family was very Mexican American, so I was raised I just have Mel England, very white guy. I got my dad's very white skin, so nobody ever knows. And that's okay. But I grew up with white privilege. I grew up watching both of my mothers, but be discriminated against.
Mm-hmm.
And so to have white privilege as a child at the expense of your own mother, I don't know how to describe it to anybody except to say, so when people started talking about white privilege, I was like, thank God they came up with a term, because I understood that every time I walked into a bank, or one time I was about 10 and we went into a store and the lady looked at my mother like she was, you know, dirty and shouldn't be there. And that was common. And then she saw me come around the corner and she said, oh, how can I help you?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just, so my whole life I've seen that.
You've seen it, witnessed it. Yeah.
So I wanted to find a way in this story to get behind that. And when we were making it as a short, because a short can be 20 minutes, it was very complicated for me to think about how could I make that about my Hispanic identity and being the white guy that's also a minority, but I pass as being, you know what I'm saying? That's a very complicated, layered story. And so the easiest way for me to do it, and because I know so many of my, dearest friends, like family, are Jewish, and that became the easy. I was like, oh, because most people that are Jewish American in this country have white privilege and are also a very persecuted minority. So that's why we decided to make him Jewish, my character. And so you have this Jewish American. So I'm having to contend with being both discriminated against and also having my privilege in the film. And like, it could not be more personal.
Right, exactly. Yes, you're feeling it from all angles. So it's really extraordinary to be a part of this and to deliver the message and the outstanding acting as well. And congratulations on that again. I know, that was something exclusive that you and the producers shared with us that hasn't been seen yet, as that film is still being worked on and being shot and in development. And that's really exciting stuff. And, when you look at all this body of work, you've done so many incredible things and continue to. What are some of those blessings and joys in your life that continue to propel you forward, my friend?
Well, I have to say, the last 5 years, I've had the opportunity of my life to take care of my father. And I never saw that coming. I did not ever, it just, I was living in New York, struggling actor. You'd live in places the size of like this desk.
Closet, yeah.
I just never thought, and so thank God I ended up meeting my partner Tony, and we were able to help my father. And it's been, I think everybody during COVID went through an experience of like what really matters. And so I would be happy. I think I'm always going to be creative, but I always feel lucky that I keep getting to work. And I always think, what would I do if I didn't work? If I wasn't working as an actor, I'd probably be doing plays somewhere. But I always thought I'd be a social worker or a nurse or just something that has meaning. And it's more real to me now. All of the song and dance that people do around show business and even just about anything, politics, and none of it is. What matters is, being a loving person and having love in your life and having a roof over your head. And I think that's what I've learned, and that's what I'm trying to do. I will say at the same time, I've had the chance to be in electricity for the last 4 years. And that play is very remote, which, we took a break for COVID. And actually, Jim, I'll give you another scoop. We have electricity has been touring, and it's about these two gay guys that meet up in a hotel room in 1983, and it's at their high school reunion, and you see them every decade. Oh, there it is. You see them every decade. We were up for some Broadway World Awards this year, and anyway, we got best production in Minneapolis, and anyway, so we're headed off Broadway in the fall. And I'm very excited.
Congratulations. Yeah.
And, we've been sort of hedging our bets and waiting to go back to New York because, one of our producers, Sue Vaccaro, Tony winner, said, hold off because things are probably going to, and sure enough, she was right. It was just not really time yet. But the reason I'm so excited about that play is that gay guys that have been through that journey from the closet all the way to equality, that's something in telling that journey. And ultimately, it's not even a gay play. It's actually just about relationships. And these two guys, and people are so moved by, it's a comedy, but people are so moved by the play that it is so deeply rewarding. And that's why I keep doing this stuff. I just feel like I've got to, you want to make some kind of a difference in people's lives. And that sounds very high whatever it is.
Falutin or no,
Yeah,
not at
like,
all.
but
No.
but I mean it. It's like, sure, it's good to make people laugh, and it's good.
Yes.
But I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very rewarding to feel like you're, making somebody.
You're
say,
inspiring, you're
Yeah,
empowering
something.
them. We talk about that a lot on our show. That I like to do that in my work in TV and radio as well. It's very important to do that. And as time marches on, you want to do even more and more of that. And you pick and choose things that, sort of reflect the essence of who you are, which is fantastic.
I've been very blessed from Cynthia Rogers, who I mentioned, put me on scholarship at the Dallas Theater Center. I had amazing teachers at the art school, Booker T. Washington Arts Magnet High School in Dallas. Karen Cogdill, Jane Ferris, so many people. I went to New York. I studied with Stella Adler. I was on scholarship. Terry Schreiber, my last teacher, literally put me on a work study thing. I helped him write his book. I typed his book in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So many people helped me. And so now I feel like my job is also I'm very excited. I'm actually helping produce a couple of other projects that I'm not even on the screen because I just want to help other people.
You want to help other people.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to guide them too, because, if you fame too, which comes from a lot of this, when not dealt with and when you're not doing the right thing and when you're not inspiring and doing what you love, fame sometimes can come at a deadly cost. How do you like that for a
Good
segue?
job.
Yes.
Good job.
Now that was a Lifetime for our viewers that love Lifetime and Hallmark and all those channels. This was a Lifetime movie.
That was a Lifetime movie, and that is Gina Hecht, not Gina Hecht. Oh my God, I don't want to name
another brilliant actress.
Gina, who's an amazing actress, and I'll remember her name right as we finish taping. But she's brilliant, beautiful, and then there's a young lady, Heavenly. Actually, that was her stage name, and she went back to. I'm going to remember anyway.
Yeah.
Fame at a deadly cost. It's about sex trafficking. It's actually, and so it was like I got a call from my agent. Lifetime movie. I play sort of this. The girl wants to be a big pop star and going to this
the Lifetime movies.
And it's sort of like an Epstein Island kind of thing.
Yes.
And what I will say is that we had so much fun because it's always a little, a little campy.
Yeah.
But it's actually about something that was really important because people, it is real stuff. People get so sideswiped by, I'm going to be famous or I'm going to be rich or I'm going to be whatever all that stuff is. And, and having been in show business as long as I have, I've seen a lot of people become famous in that way.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always work out for the best for people. And the thing about it is that, I don't know. I just feel like that was also I was I'm glad to be part of a movie that's actually about, let's have a conversation about sex trafficking on Lifetime television. Come on.
Right. Exactly. Absolutely. There was this too. The resurrection of Mel England.
Yeah. That's the article in Pause magazine by Katie Peoples. So I don't even know anymore, 30 plus year HIV/AIDS survivor. And so, and I've been very public about that. I came out in 2009. I did a solo show Off-Broadway where I told my survival story from AIDS and cancer. And at the time it was somewhat radical because people didn't, people didn't even come out about being gay, much less being HIV positive. And I had people telling me not to do it, but thank God my director, Jill Andre, incredible actress, incredible Broadway actress, had done a million film and TV things. She had directed my first solo show a few years before, and she just kept giving me permission. And my friend Craig Chester, also, who had come out as a gay actor after he got nominated for an Independent Spirit Award for Swoon in the late 80s, and he was fired by his agents for coming out. It's just so, and he gave me the courage to just do it, and I'm so glad I came out, because by coming out about my HIV status in my story, I then ended up having, I was on the cover of that magazine telling my story, and it helps people. I don't know how else to say that,
Yeah,
and
sure.
I have nothing to lose. I don't care. After you've almost died, I almost died of AIDS. I almost died of cancer. Then on 9/11, I was 4 blocks away. I said, now it's this. I just feel like there's no need to stand on pretense. It's fine. So.
Yeah, I tell you, huh?
And I've been in recovery for a long time. And that's after I almost died of AIDS in 97. I got sober, and that became sort of the new, it's just, you have to get really comfortable with yourself. And I feel like if I don't do anything else, I can share my story with other people.
Yes.
And it, some people don't care, but there are people that go, "Oh my God, thank you for saying that."
Thank you for being my friend, like Betty White said.
Betty White.
Betty White and George Burns.
Oh my God.
There's George. Burns. You mentioned God earlier, and there he is.
Oh God. Get it?
Oh God. He's got his cigar, the whole bit. And he said he enjoyed himself tonight, and you knocked it out of the park, kiddo. So you got God and George Burns on your side tonight.
Well, I have to say, we were making this, doing Here We Are, and working with Christine Elise. And then at some point I was looking at Christine's Instagram feed. My dad watches Me TV, which is all the classic
shows.
Sure,
Me TV. And there's a Me TV too also.
I go by his room, and Me TV is on, and it's that Carol O'Connor and the Heat of the Night show.
Yes.
And I see Christine. She's like, 20 years old, in a scene with George Burns and Carol O'Connor. And I was like, oh my God.
Yes. We had Denise Nicholas on. She was on with In the Heat of the Night with Carol O'Connor, and she was on Room 222.
I know. And she's actually, what's she's great amazing about Me TV, for any young actors out there or people that like her, I swear to God, watch it Me TV, because those old shows, those people know what they're doing.
Yes.
They're really good shows.
Yes. Well, Me TV 2, or is it Me TV Plus? There's a second network that Me TV has. There's Me TV, Antenna TV, Decades, Cozy, all of these great nostalgic networks. And then there's Tubi as well. Me TV Plus re-airs Family with Christy McNichol, Meredith Baxter Burney, Gary Frank, Seda Thompson, James Broderick, Matthew's father. Remember that series, Family? That was an Aaron Spelling production. And Aaron Spelling was once asked, of all the shows that he created, I mean, everything was a Dynasty and Charlie's Angels and you name it, right?
All of them.
The one that he was the most proud of was Family, with Seda Thompson, James Broderick, Gary Frank, Christy McNichol, Meredith Baxter Burney, and Quinn Cummings, who came on in later season episodes. So that Me TV Plus is airing that whole series as well. Those channels are great, yeah. And it's bringing it to whole new generations too, who are looking at those shows, and they're listening to vinyl, saying, wow, some of this stuff was actually very, very good. A lot of time and attention and craftsmanship went into the movies, the music, the television shows. And when you watch them, you can really see. That's why a lot of them still stand the test of time, why people love Dick Van Dyke and I Love Lucy and The Honeymooners and a lot of these shows, because they just really are relatable and they stand the test of time. Brady Bunch. Yeah. We just had Lloyd Schwartz on, who, with his father, Sherwood, created Brady Bunch and Gilligan's Island. And Lloyd was on recently talking about all that. Anne says she loves all those shows. She's watching in Southern California. I tell you,
Terry Ray, who I'm in Electricity with, actually has made a bunch of, like, he has a show called TV Therapy where he has all these old like icons.
The iconic. Yes.
come back, and but he had Dawn Wells from Gilligan's Island.
Yes, who we just lost recently.
We just lost him.
Yes. And
Very much he loves Dawn and I have many friends. I didn't get to meet Dawn, but I was very sad.
Jim Backus, of course.
Oh my God, that cast.
Remember the animation character that he played?
Oh,
The voice-
Mr.
the
Magoo.
voice of
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Magoo.
We call our dog the Shotzi, who's blind.
Yeah.
Mr. Magoo.
Yeah. We had Burt Ward on, who played Robin from Batman.
Oh yeah.
That was really, really cool, I tell you.
But they had like 3 cat ladies, right? Like Catwoman. They had like Eartha Kitt. Who else played Catwoman on that show?
Wasn't Julie Newmar one of them?
Newmar. And then they had a 3rd or 4th. I mean, they had like a lot of cat.
They had several women, right? Exactly. I know. Well, I tell you, this was awesome, my friend. We chatted for almost 2 hours. Would you believe
I can't.
that?
I thought we were going to get cut off an hour ago. So
No,
I'm happy
yeah.
that we got
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was fantastic. And it's so good to catch up with you again since we saw each other in New York, and you're out there on the West Coast in Palm Springs, and hopefully we'll break bread again. And we have a lot of mutual friends in television and film and stage that we know, and spread the word about our show, tell everybody about our series. And I hope that the show met the expectations you had and you enjoyed the time with me as much as I have with you, Mel.
Oh my God, I love it. And I would definitely, who did I say I was going to, I was going to hook you up with Sally. Totally. Yeah.
That's yes. Sally would be fantastic. She's an icon
She's
as
got
well. Huh?
a million stories.
Oh.
I'll just say that.
Yeah. This was really cool. So anything else exciting that you wanted to share with us, or anything you want to say as far as the show or conversation or anything before we wrap up, my friend?
This was fantastic. I think I talked about all the things that are going on. And I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. And it's good to see you. I think, I met you through our friend Neil Rubenstein. And Neil is going to be part of the team bringing us back for bringing electricity off Broadway. So you will be invited opening night.
Fantastic. That'll be terrific. That'll be great. Really appreciate that. Yeah, Neil is a great guy as well, and his lovely wife Lily, and so many fantastic people out there doing fantastic work. Mel, this was really great. We went back a little bit in time too, taking a look at some of the earlier work you did. Show you a couple of comments. Mel, you're certainly here for a reason, making a difference and sharing your story and life through your roles. Wow. You are super talented, super person, and true warrior. You're definitely a Jim Masters show lovity. Now you're officially a lovity on the show. That's from Christine. We appreciate that. Melody is here. So proud of you, cousin. So
oh my God, my
She's
cousin
been watching.
Melody.
Melody's been watching the whole time. She was in early as soon as we started the show, and she introduced herself. And Merlin is asking if there's a dog. Yes, there is Merlin back there.
Well, I can actually hold on. Wait 2 seconds. Here we go.
Yes, we were talking about that.
Here comes Mr. Magoo.
Oh, is that the name, Mr. Magoo?
No, his name is Shotzi, but he's 17 and he's blind, but he's a good boy. Yeah.
Just watching him do that is very ASMR.
There's a whole thing. I
was going to say, if this whole thing doesn't work out, this career, you could do an ASMR video with the dog just doing that. Cute. So what breed you said?
He's a Pomeranian. He's what's called actually a throwback, because usually those are very small. Queen Victoria, I think, bred them down. But he's what's called a throwback Pom. So they're a little bit bigger. And he's got very long hair, as you know. And he's 17. So he's a miracle dog. Mm. But because he can't really see, all he can do is lick now. So I just let him lick away.
That's it. A star. You know what happens when, a pet comes on, you take second fiddle to...
Oh God, they say never act with animals or
children.
It's fine. I don't care. If it keeps people watching, good. Yeah. Anyway.
Absolutely. Well,
And I have my Chihuahua Baby is around, but I don't know where she is. So, Baby actually was in that magazine. Actually, both of them were in that article in Plus magazine.
Beautiful dog, so adorable, from Kathleen in New York City, Sherry in Kansas, he's beautiful, Anne in Southern California, love seeing everyone's pets, Merlin, Canada, aw, really, really nice. This was a great way to wrap a terrific conversation. I don't call these interviews, we call these conversations sort of old school talk show style with a modern vibe, modern flair. Spread the word about our show, my friend, we would love that. And we'll keep the porch light on for you. You're welcome back anytime. And a real pleasure, Mel. Best of luck and continued blessings and everything that you're doing, my friend.
Yeah, thank you. It's great to see you. You look fantastic. As I definitely say, keep the hair.
All right, another vote.
Yeah.
Put it in that column. Keep the hair.
Totally. I love it. I'm jealous. I always wanted that hair.
It's been a work in progress, that's for sure.
You saw my character in Electricity has the wig, so that's about as close as I got.
That's it. Yeah. It's something I've said I was going to try to do once in my life. Pandemic came, 2 years of, this, that, and the other. And I've worn it on television. I've worn it in serious news programming and all. And everybody's like, we like it. I worn it on PBS. They like it. So, hey, you got to change it up once in a while. Keep them guessing and have fun, right? Have fun like you are. You definitely are, Mel. Again, continued blessings, enjoy, and a couple more claps coming in from Anne. Mel's beautiful fur babies, a lovety as well. You're going to go eat dinner now because you're 3 hours.
It is dinner time here. It's later. It's like bedtime there.
It's about 9 o'clock here. Yes. What are you going to have for dinner? This is a foodie crowd.
I don't know because Tony sort of runs the dinner department. So it's going to depend on
the dinner department.
If he wants to cook or not. And so because I'm
like
not really the cook, so I never make this like demand about it. I'm like, and then I'm always like the bad guy who's encouraging us to just go out. But it's not because his cooking is amazing, but it's just like I don't want to be like cook. So I'm like, let's go out because then it'll be easier.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll have Mexican tonight, which is like
very good. Yeah, that sounds good. Mexican is awesome in California.
Oh,
you take care, my friend. Thanks again for joining us. And
thank you. And love to everybody out there. Please be safe and and spread the love. We need more of that.
I
recently met Dionne Warwick.
You did?
That was beyond everything. She got her star on the Walk of Fame, and I got to meet Dionne Warwick.
Wonderful.
And what the world needs now is love.
Yes.
Period.
Yes. We lost actually one of my dear friends, Ronnie Spector from the Ronettes. Was a dear, close family friend.
Oh God, you
very
were close.
Yeah.
Wow.
Saw each other often. Families involved. Yeah. Wonderful person. Yeah. Be My Little Baby and all the songs.
I'm so sorry. My condolences.
Amazing person. Yeah. It's amazing lately the amount of people too who have been, jumping ship a little bit. Unbelievable, huh? Yeah. Well, not us. We have too many stories to tell, too many lives
we got work to
inspire.
Do. Yeah.
A lot of work cut out for us, that's for sure.
Thank you so much, Jim.
Great show, Jim. Thank you, Ann. There, we appreciate that as well. And Ann is in California, so dinner time for her too. You be well, my friend. You take care. Okay. Let's stay in touch. And we'll see you again soon. Okay.
We will. I'll see you in New York.
You got it. All right.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye now. Mel England live from, not London, Palm Springs, California. And you got a chance to see, the fur baby joined as well. Really cool, huh? Got a chance to learn a little bit more about him. Maybe you've seen him in a lot of these different shows, whether it's television, maybe off-Broadway, maybe film. And we got a chance to even see some exclusive clips. Here we are, is actually being shot right now. It hasn't come out. They're filming it. And that clip, the last clip we showed you, literally arrived here at the studio in about 10 minutes before we went live, and we got it into the system quick so we can show it to you guys, because Mel was so excited about it, because they just filmed today. And that's really, really cool. So you got a chance to see a lot of rare things here on the show. And again, you can check out a lot of those other performances and films on Amazon Prime and so much more. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, gang. That's the channel you're watching right now. And the show is The Jim Master Show Live, entertainment lifestyle talk show series. And there's that red subscribe button. Click that. We would love it. And click the notification bell so you never miss any of the episodes. We have guests that come in from Broadway, Hollywood, television, film, music, sports, comedy, inspiration. Sometimes we go on location. Sometimes we do host lovely viewer chat shows. We're overdue for one of those, where it's just you and I chatting about all kinds of cool things going on in our world and our lives. And we love presenting these entertaining segments and shows to you guys. Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show Series extraordinaire. All right, gang, we're going to wrap up here. We've got a busy week of shows and so much more coming up. Great show. Thanks, Jim, from Kathleen Walker, who's watching in New York City. We thank once again our friend, the incomparable Mel England, for joining us here live from Palm Springs, California on the Jim Masters Show Live. Really, really epic conversation as well. I do want to let you know, tomorrow, also from California, we have actor and producer and founder of Pure Flix, David A.R. White. He's got a lot to show and a lot to tell. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Tomorrow live, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. If you didn't see recently, Grammy and Emmy-nominated jazz guitarist David Becker, he played live for us. It was extraordinary. Check that episode out as well. Coming next week, my buddy from Celtic Thunder and Burn and Kelly, Neil Byrne's going to be with us live from Ireland. He's going to play live. This will be his third visit here on the Jim Master Show Live. Of course, you know him from many years on PBS as one of the gang on Celtic Thunder. That's right. He's one of the Celtic Thunder lads, but he's also a brilliant Irish musician and singer himself. He teams up with another buddy of ours, Ryan Kelly from Celtic Thunder. They are Burning Kelly as well. He's going to be here this Sunday. Yeah, we've got a lot of shows every day this week, and then the weekend, and so much more. Love it, love it, love it. Lovely color, almost like a fox. Jane watching in Sweden. You're talking about Mel's dog. Absolutely. And a cutie as well. Good stuff. Kathleen Walker, thank you. You mega hugs back to you as well. And Sherry, all saying goodnight to each other. This is always like the Waltons. Everybody says goodnight to each other. Because we do this show in the evening. I know you could be watching this 6 months from now in the archives and the replay and saying, why are they talking about nighttime? I'm watching this at 7 a.m. on a Saturday. We do the show in the evenings, but sometimes we do afternoon shows too. Sometimes we do 2 shows a day. Good night, everyone. Have a great Tuesday, Sherry. Yeah, lots of great guests this week. You have a good night as well, Sherry in Kansas, and Ann watching in Southern California. Thanks for bringing us such great guests, Jim. I know we work really, really hard behind the scenes to produce these shows, to put on a really well-produced show, you know, from the look of the show, the feel of the show, the sound of the show, the guests, the levity, the lovity, the interaction. A lot going on here behind the scenes to make these shows come to life, and we thank you. Don't forget, on YouTube, there is that thanks button. You click that. That helps support our show as well, and so does the super chat when the shows are live. Thanks for bringing us such a great guest. My pleasure as well. You too, Sherry, and everybody. Just checking in a couple of comments here. Christine Clifton in North Carolina, snowed in North Carolina. That was really an incredible and very deep, meaningful episode with Mel. He's a phenomenal actor. I agree, and personal. Enjoyed the conversation and person, that is. Phenomenal actor in person. Thanks, Jim. Good night, Jim, and all lovely hugs to you as well, Christine. Good stuff, gang. Thanks for these great comments and all the action that happens during the show as well. Thank you, Anne. You guys be well. We appreciate Mel being with us, and we appreciate you guys being with us as well. Take care. Enjoy. Love one another. Take care of one another. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show Series. You guys take care. We'll see you on the next one. I'll be here waiting for you. I hope you're here to join us for more levity, entertainment, inspiration, poignant conversations, and whatever else we can muster up for you here on JMS Live. This is your host, Jim Masters, thanking you for your time this time. Till next time, take care. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.